Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We are opening minds to living differently in the world with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding for ourselves and hopefully everyone else. We do that right here weekdays at 11 a.m. Please never miss a show. But if, in case you do, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Yes, subscribe. Go click the button. Follow us. Follow me now, yes, follow us. It is The Good Life. We are opening minds. We do that right here weekdays with Marketplace Monday, Relationship Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Gumbo Talk Thursday, and Free Spirit Friday. Make sure you join us. If you do want to join us, partner with us, you have an event, anything that's going on that exudes the good life, please make sure you give our business line a call. That is 504-400-7127. That is the line to call if you want to partner with us. 504-400-7127. If your mission of your business exudes love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding, if you're open to that, then we're open to you. So make sure you give us a call at 504-400-7127 because it's the good life. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. Henry Jolly, my partner, is on his way in the studio. I just wanted to take a moment to think about all of the persons and the children who lost their lives and the adults yesterday in Manchester with the horrible attack. They were leaving the Ariana Grande concert. Their parents and loved ones had begun to start coming to pick them up and standing there and waiting for them when I think giving them a name is just even too much for that. It's just despicable. It's evil, really. That's what it is. It's evil. And evil, showed its ugly head, and there were casualties, and it was just absolutely awful. So I would like everyone to keep them in their prayers. We never know when it can be us. Nobody thought that they were going to lose their lives on their way to a concert. It was supposed to be a fun night. How many of us, I have a teenager now, he's 13. How many of us drop our children off somewhere and we go back to pick them up, expecting that they're going to be there, expecting that, we're going to be able to wrap our arms around them and hug them, and how do we prepare our children to handle themselves when they're alone, the things that are going on in their lives and things of that nature. So today, this whole conversation this week has been about preparation. It's been about preparation. So I do want to remind you about the conversation we had yesterday on Marketplace Monday. We talked about preparation with regard to our community. And so with that being said, we know that the monuments were taken down, but there still is business that is being taken care of at the Capitol. And the bill that passed the House, unfortunately, is now going to the Senate. So we want to make sure that we call all of our representatives and let them know where we stand on this issue so that our voices can be heard. So we want to make sure that we do this and we prepare them, because Telly's always here and we talk about, making sure that we contact them, but it also is sending them an email. If you can send them an email, that's even more reinforcement, because when they go stand on that floor and they talk for us, they can say, this constituent said this, and this constituent said that. So we want to prepare our lawmakers to be able to share our voice and it be exactly what we delivered. And then secondly, we had Randy Chambliss on yesterday with regard to preparing us for generational wealth and generational financial health. So he has an event tonight. It is tonight at the Wyndham in the New Orleans East, Doors open at 6:30. Event starts at 7. They are going to literally walk you through how to get your credit together, how to get your finances together. If you want to purchase a home, if you want to, start investing and having, that side hustle like we talk about, in New Orleans, you really do need a job and a side hustle to be able to make ends meet. So he's going to show us how to do that. So we want to make sure that everyone is prepared. This week is about preparation. That's the good life. And so I wanted to make sure that I repeated all of that information because it is very important. We have Henry Jolly, who is my relationship therapist. He is everyone's relationship therapist. He gets our mind right. Henry, kind of with everything that's going on with the terrorist attack yesterday against our children, our children, it really touched my heart, touched my soul. Y'all know how I feel about kids. I just, I'm weak behind the children. So I wanted to, this conversation was about preparation, and I really wanted to discuss how are we preparing our children for the next level, and how are we preparing our children, and let's start here. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Our parents weren't perfect. Everybody's going to have something. We already know. I mean, everybody has something. It is what it is. But we can try to do our best, and we can do it lovingly. We can, not if we have a history of racism in our family, we can let the cycle stop with us. We can, show them diversity, bring them in different cultures. We can actively do something to break those cycles so that they don't have that same mentality, and they don't then, let that go down to their grandchildren. But also preparing our children in life so that they have the fortitude, so when they're in situations where they are faced with, I know my mom and daddy told me this, and I know this is right. Yeah. But you see, all my boys are doing this, and my girl told me we should do this, and, I want to, duck out of school, and I let my mama know, and, I want to go, I just, I'm about to flip something, so I get some money in my pocket. How do we prepare our children and ourselves? Because I say our children because it's easier, and I'm having this conversation about children because it's easier to not let it be me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's easier to not see it in myself, so we're going to have the conversation about children, but I know we're going to see this in ourselves because we do this. I've done this. I mean, it's no hypocrisy in saying I'm perfect. I'm not.
Yeah.
So how do we prepare ourselves? And it'll be a conversation I would love the people to join in. Our talk line is 504-260-9265, 504-260-9265. I know I have some counselors and, some social workers who are in this industry who may work with kids directly on a regular basis, who may be able to, give us some insight as to how do we redirect them, or if they are, this is a whole conversation. I'm throwing a lot at you at one time. Or if they are on a path that isn't quite the best for them, how do we reel them back in and prepare them so that they can walk on a path and see that path is more productive? Because, when you have some money in your pocket and, this path is looking real good. Everybody loves me. The girls love me. I got my ballies on, whatever you want to say, what I'm saying? Yeah. But, this path is only going to last so long. The other one will prepare you for a lifetime. So how do you do that, Henry?
I'm going to back up even further than that. I believe that people should really consider how they want their kids to grow up before they even have kids. Don't wait until they're here and then start trying to make adjustments with your own life. Start trying to map things out before you even take that leap. People say, I got pregnant on accident, or she got pregnant on accident. No, she didn't. No, you didn't.
You were both participated.
Come on, man.
You both participated in the process.
You both participated. There's so many ways to prevent pregnancies. I mean, so many different methods. So much science going on right now to prevent it. So that's baloney. If you're living a reckless life and you're being careless, I'll say careless.
Then you were not preparing yourself, right? You weren't prepared.
You're going to get somebody pregnant, or you're going to get pregnant. So it starts right there. So, but you really have to, figure out how you want your kids to grow up. Then start the process, meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Start mapping everything out. Put your family together, have your kids, and now you start, putting your plan in motion.
You know what? I want to break all of that down into sections, throughout the show.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm talking about, preparing our kids. So you're saying before you even have kids, while you're dating, what does that preparation look like?
Well, I mean, you really have to figure out what do you want in a husband or a wife, because we talk about kids loosely, but man, you're supposed to have kids with your wife or your husband. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how it was designed. Now, if you don't believe in marriage or whatever, okay, at least have it in a committed, monogamous relationship. Mm-hmm. At least you don't want kids with 4 or 5 different stepmamas and I got 3 daddies and all of that. I mean, that's chaos right there. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's confusing for a child. So it's best to have, a man and a woman and
a family
kids.
unit.
Yeah, one unit, yeah.
And if it wasn't initially to create one for them.
Right.
A healthy one.
Right.
Don't just create one just to be creating one.
Right. I was talking to my wife last week about this. we were in the backyard watching our 3 sons play. And people always joke with us and say, when y'all having a 4th one, when y'all having a girl? And we are both like, nah, we not. Because, first of all, I don't know how, when you have multiple kids, it's really hard to spend time with each individual one. Mm-hmm. And our love is already spread out between the 3. So I'm thinking to myself, I breed dogs.
Right.
And I'm not trying to compare kids and animals, but,
you compare it to your life experience.
Yes, it's similar in a way because, if I have 10 dogs, how am I going to spend time with all 10 dogs when you working and you going to school or whatever you're doing? Mm-hmm. How you going to show them all equal amount of love? It's really hard to do that. So people
somebody's going to get the short end of the stick.
They are. So, I mean,
and more than one probably.
Right. So you got to consider all of those things, Is your life built to where you can have kids? People have kids and they stick them in daycare right away. I don't believe in that. I feel like you should try to, if you're able to do it, try to stay home and spend more time with your children. I think that's the biggest problem. People not spending time with their kids. They're just having them and saying, "Oh, I got kids. I'm raising a child." You're not raising a son and a daughter. You're raising a child. There's a difference here. You can't raise a girl the same way you raise a boy. I don't believe that. You have to raise them differently. Because why do you think the lines are blurred right now? Because people are just raising children like whatever. Oh, they could do what they want. They could, watch this and watch that.
No, I agree.
No, I mean, there's a way.
God gave me a boy for a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
A boy's supposed to be doing certain things. Not to sound sexist or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, if you don't raise your boy to be a boy, when he goes out into this world, it's going to be brutal for him.
And a man's responsibilities in the world, forget at home, are different than a woman.
Yeah. And that's back to the point
Whether
originally.
you want to agree with us or not, when you go here, there, and everywhere, it is life. We do have to deal with reality. Your home can be whatever it wants to be, but when they go out in the world, it is what it is.
Right. So that goes back to the point about preparation. If you're not preparing your kid to be a certain way, you're failing as a parent. If you're not preparing them for situations that's going to be tough for them, this life is hard, okay? You could be dead.
The lessons are up and down.
Yeah, you could be dead with the blink of an eye. You could be in jail at the blink of an eye. So you really have to try to equip your kids to make good decisions. I think it's great when parents really spend time and they ask their child, so what do you think about this? Talk to them, try to learn them, and let them.
Wait, you have to learn your child?
Yeah, you have to learn them because they have their own personality.
Are you serious?
You know that.
I know that, but there are people listening
a lot of people
who are
don't know that, though.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's
and how
different.
your child. Lord have, because you're like, okay, I figured this one out. Maybe the first one.
Yeah.
But that technique does not apply to each child.
I got twins, right?
Right.
They are so different. I mean, if they're playing a video game, Henry will say, I want to play Sonic. Ashton will say, I want to play Street Fighter. It'll be just total opposite. So how y'all going to play together? And they're always picking the opposite things. And they learn different. Ashton's more, when he explains things, he uses his hands a lot. Henry don't really like to talk much about explaining. He just like to do stuff.
Right.
But you got to learn them. You have to learn your kid and try to help develop their personality. But, I know that because I spend so much time with them. I wake up with them every single day. I've never missed a day of their lives since they've been born. I mean, I've been there every single day. And everybody's not blessed to be in that position. I understand that. But when your kids get home from school, talk to them, man. Don't just send them to their room to do their homework, tell them to take a bath and go to bed. Ask them how their day was. Try to really learn these guys and figure them out. Because when you don't, somebody else is. Somebody else
Henry, say that one more time before we go to break. When you don't.
When you don't try to learn your kid and talk to your kid, somebody else is talking to them. Believe that.
Wow.
And sometimes the influence could be bad.
Right. And we want to be the ones that prepare them.
Right.
So we're going to take a quick break. We have been discussing preparation this week. Now we are discussing preparation with regard to our children. It is. I mean, we saw what happened this morning. We want to make sure that they are prepared in any situation so that they can take care of themselves and so they can know and be strengthened in their own fortitude too, so they can live the good life too. We're going to take a quick break. It's Relationship Tuesday. We'll be right back. Are you looking for a roadmap to get out of the financial rat race? If so, go to myfinancialtrainingpro.com to register for NOLA Homes Project free income shifting strategy session. The world has more to offer you than just a job and a paycheck. Our experts will show you how to raise your credit scores, minimize your taxes and expenses, while investing in real estate to put more cash in your pocket each and every month. Seating is limited, so do not wait. Visit myfinancialtrainingpro.com. That's myfinancialtrainingpro.com. Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. Isagenix is one of the fastest growing companies in the world because their products work. Their solutions and culture has redefined the health and wellness industry. Science backs their products and statistics back their success. But it's the people who make them successful. And I, Eileen Carter, have joined the Isagenix revolution. I've used the products and followed their system, and I swear by them. I'm on my journey of transformation and invite you to join me and try Isagenix today. Challenge yourself and change your life. Find information and testimonials at thegoodliferadioshow.isagenix.com. 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 Order yours today.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
The Louisiana Civil Rights Museum was authorized by the state legislature in 1999. In recent years, a nonprofit organization called Friends of the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum has worked to make the museum a reality. The Friends believe with James Baldwin that the tale of how we suffered, how we survived, and how we triumphed is never new, but it must always be told. During the year 2017, the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum will present a series of accurate, history-based narratives that chronicle the liberation struggles of various groups which created the Louisiana of today. We invite you to listen and discuss our presentations, which may sometimes be surprising, but always true. Listen, read, and think.
Yeah. You know what?
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. We are opening minds to living differently in the world with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding for ourselves and everyone else. We do that right here weekdays at 11 a.m. I have my partner on real estate. See where my mind is? I say that because we had one of our listeners called in during the break to find out exactly where the My Financial Training Pro was. My Financial Training Pro, that is the link online. It is free, My Financial Training Pro. You can go on there right now and register. It's absolutely free. And I was telling Henry this during the break. You have all these real estate seminars that, travel around the country, and they make you pay $500, $1,000 everywhere they go. It's free, y'all. He is trying to help our community. He's trying to, grow it. It is Nola Holmes Project. That's who's hosting it. Randy Chambliss heads it. We want to make sure we support him. And, we talk about, we want to do something. Well, he is giving us the opportunity to do it. And he has ways, that's what he told us yesterday, to, purchase investments without necessarily using our own money. I said, I need more information like that because that's a good life. So make sure we are out there. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. at the Wyndham New Orleans East. Wyndham New Orleans East. It's the good life. Now, to jump back in our conversation, we have been discussing preparation. We have Henry Jolly, our relationship therapist. I want to thank him for this conversation because he opened my mind, with regard to, we were talking about preparing our children. And he said it starts before your children are even here. That's when the preparation starts. And I was like, all right, Henry. And then he goes into, making sure that we learn our children. I said, all right, Henry.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who don't tell you that you need to learn your child. And you do. I love my child to death. He does not respond to, I'm not a yeller though, but he does not, maybe that's because I'm not, he doesn't respond to that. You could yell at him all day. He will look at you like you're crazy. And then you'll be like, oh, he's disrespectful, whatever. He doesn't respond to it.
He's probably a really calm kid. Huh?
He is.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you what he responds to.
What?
If you're disappointed in him. If you're disappointed, if I said you disappointed me and you didn't, or A, B, and C, and this is why, oh my goodness, you could see his little face and he just wants to fix it.
That's good.
Right, but I know I don't have to scream. I don't have to yell. I don't have to, that might work for some children. It doesn't with mine.
And
so it's funny because when he'll like if he had a different coach or something, lots of coaches like to yell.
Right.
Like, oh, he's just this. And I'm like, he doesn't respond to yelling. But like you said, you have to know your child.
Look, his future wife might come to you for advice one day. Like, I cannot get to him. How can I get through to him? You might say, baby, stop with the yelling.
Stop with the
Just
yelling.
tell him you're very disappointed in him,
yes.
and that's it.
It works. It's so much easier. You don't have to raise your voice, and it's just just step back from him. Just don't be in his presence because he'll want to be with you because he knows he did something. Like, oh, I'm gonna hug you. Don't hug me. I need my space right now. I'm just disappointed. He'd be like, you want me to make you breakfast?
I love when
you
parents know their kids.
You want me to do that?
I love that.
And look, it makes life easy. I don't have to yell. I don't yell. It's just not in me.
Yep.
But going back to knowing your children and preparing them, and with, we were discussing the terror attack during the break and preparing them for life's situations where when you aren't there, because there were so many parents that weren't there, and that was a really scary part. There are so many parents that weren't there at that moment to help them make a decision where your child has to be independent.
Right.
Where you have to start breaking that codependency. There are a lot, I don't say there are a lot of us, there are some people who don't break that codependent relationship until they're, in their upper teens. And from my understanding, that's a little bit too late to start that process.
I got a question for you, Eileen.
Oh, Lord. You're supposed to be answering my question.
But look, no, I got a question.
What?
How have you prepared your son for the outside world? Because as we were talking about this and what happened with the bombing thing, man, I'm so overprotective of my kids right now, and I just think I'm gonna be like that. I can't see myself letting go. It's gonna be hard, man. Because when they want to go to the movies or something, when they're 12, 13, 14, even 16, I'm gonna be so scared. Like, man, I put all this work into these kids.
Yes.
I love them so much, and some idiot can kill them.
Yes.
And wipe them off the face of the earth just that quick.
Exactly. Some idiot, some random, some friend at school that, got them to go do something or to take something or to, oh, this drug is going to make you feel good. And then they're stuck on something. I mean, whatever. Oh, drink this alcohol. Oh, let's go drive in this car. And they got somebody looking for them. And then, they're up in a car. Whatever the situation is, they have a friend who likes to fight. They on a basketball court. The friend starts to fight. They in a fight too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, this happens every day, and you want to have your child be prepared so that you are able to make their own decisions. How do I prepare? I'm going to tell you. I think there's two things that, and one of them I know drives, well, for y'all that know, I am divorced. So I think one thing forced me to do it earlier than I think I probably would have wanted to, which is, when having custody arrangements. Mm-hmm. So, he had to go, you know what I mean? I don't mean it in a nasty way, but, we're sharing custody of him. Right. So he was younger and had to, go by his dad. And I had to be able to trust him, and I had to empower him to have a voice. And he still, has age-appropriate voice, right. But to be able to, my wants, my needs, whatever it may be. Not disrespectful, but just, being able to speak up for himself. And then also, with that being speaking up for himself, I always gave him options. Mm-hmm. My child grew up in a Montessori situation, and what's that, around nuns or something? What that mean? No, it's I'm trying to think of the exact name. It's i.e. the Montessori way. They have Montessori schools where it's a little bit different than your I don't want to say a strict school, but a do what I say because I said so school. Right. They more explain the process, and they let a child work their stages developmentally. And the children are learning from they're learning from the teacher, but they're also learning from other children. Like their age groups would be like a 2 and 3 year old. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm gonna look up the actually Montessori method, but I'll just tell you things that I saw with him in that process and with him in that environment that are so much different. He wanted to do things for himself. They empower the child, which is different than some learning environments where do it because I said so. Right. They empower the child to do it because they have the ability to do it. Right. Like when he was 2 and 3 years old, he was picking up his dishes, cleaning them, and putting them in the dishwasher. Wow. You're laughing, but that's what they taught them to do. They didn't eat off paper plates. They ate off a plate and they had a cup. And when they were done, they had to go to the sink. They rinsed it off and they put it in the dishwasher. But there are a lot of families, or you've been in situations, or I've seen it, where you're like, oh, you can't do that. Yes, they can. We don't allow them to. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so with options, that was one thing that they taught us, because we went to, I don't want to say a class, but when you go to a school, they give you orientation. They teach you, well, this is the way that we do stuff. They always gave them options. Now, it might not have been options you wanted, but they were options. And I think that's life. You may not want to go to work, but your option is to go to work or stay home. So I either go to work and get money, or I can stay home and not get money. Right. I don't, I want to not go to work, but if I don't have money, that's a problem. But I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? So they gave them options. And just for instance, when he was little, like choosing tennis shoes or something, these are your options. You can pick a color. I empowered him to do things. And last but not least, they do not force them to share, which I really loved. Are you forced to share? How old are you?
Me? 34.
Right. Does somebody make you share?
No.
Okay, then why real talk.
Why do you force kids to share?
Why do we force kids to share? This was the theory.
Good point.
All the children, if they have their work, that's what they call it, their work. It's not games, it's fun. They have their work, and they put it on their little mat. And if someone wants to come work with them, they have to ask them. If the child says, yes, you can work with me, then they can do it together. If the child says no, they have to respect their boundaries. They don't force them to do stuff like that. So it's a situation where your child is empowered. So I enjoyed it. And so if anyone out there has children in Montessori, who dat? Right. But for me, you asked me how I prepared him. I think preparing him to have options. I didn't want him to be dependent upon me, and I saw him doing that a little bit early. Those kids when they're on the sports playground or whatever else, and they make a mistake and they freeze and they turn around and they look at their parent. Yeah. I did not want to be that parent, and that's what I was adamant that I wasn't going to be that parent. I wanted him to be able to make mistakes and understand that mistakes are okay. It's how we learn. Right. But don't continue to make the same mistake over and over again. Right. But we're going to learn from it. It's not the end of the world.
You tell him after the game? You tell him after
Probably.
the game? Yeah.
Of course. You know, how can your life be a little bit easier? You know what? You learn from this. Let's not do this again. I mean, the same way with anything. If you have a friend who, I've had, he said a friend come over and, they've been on the phone with girls or something. And I'm like, and I'm just like, that wasn't something that you normally did. Like, what, no. There's a cutoff. No, not all that. We have Sekou. Sekou is on line 1. Sekou, good morning. Welcome to The Good Life. How are you?
Good morning. All right. But, Brother Jolly, right, with you, right?
Yeah.
Henry.
Yeah, I know you're a therapist. Are you kind of related to Brenda Jolly?
I don't know. Probably so. I think we all related.
The reason why I said that, she went to high school, just like Arlene's mother, right? Your mother went to Booker T with me, too. And Brenda Jolly went to Booker T. Was very, very intelligent, good student. I thought maybe you might be from the same project. They might be your mom or cousin.
No, she probably a cousin, though.
What I call y'all about. I kind of caught that. I was busy on the computer, but I kind of caught some of the stuff. Walked away from the phone, from the radio for a minute. What did you say about the bombing in?
Today's show is about preparation, so we were talking. Excuse me. Talking about preparation, and there were a lot of children who were alone, during the bombings. So we were discussing, how do you prepare our children for life's events?
All right. But what's your opinion of that bombing? I'm curious. What y'all think about that? What happened?
It's awful. I mean, what are you talking about? Well,
it's awful. You're right. It is awful. But there's such thing as called blowback. The United States at war, right? That's when the United declared war in Afghanistan.
Sekou, I love you to death, but we're gonna stay on preparation.
They declare they've been in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, and Algeria.
So how do we prepare ourselves
Somalia,
to not have any
all over
other
African Middle East bombing people? They probably dropped about.
Sekou, we're gonna stick to the topic. I love you to death, and we can have this conversation on another day. But we're gonna stick to the topic today, and the topic is preparation. So how do we prepare? No. I want to keep you on the phone. I'm gonna keep you on the phone. I wanted to steer to the conversation. How do we prepare? Oh well, I guess he didn't want to talk about preparation, and that's okay. But I want to talk about preparation because that's what this week is about. So how do we prepare our children? And so, the same thing like that. When you have situations that come up that are a little bit adverse, how do you handle them?
Right.
And it's the same way. If I am abrasive with you or if I am attacking you, then it's not going to end well. We were going to argue. But I'm not going to be abrasive with Sekou. He is a listener of WBOK. We love him, but we do want to stay on topic with that and every listener because it's respectful of me as the host and it's respectful of the listener. And so, that's how we work here, at least on The Good Life. I'm going to respect you. You're going to respect me. We're going to have, and I want to hear opposite opinions. I do. I had that conversation yesterday because you're going to open my mind to living differently world because the only thing that differentiates us, I say this all the time, is exposure. So maybe you've been exposed to something that I haven't and you can teach me something. Like I had Avis, and she doesn't even know she did it. Avis Brock, who is the granddaughter of Avery Alexander. She opened my mind because I didn't understand how long the fight for the monuments had gone on. And once I learned that history, I was like, wow.
Is it over now?
No, it's not over. The 4 monuments are down, but the fight is now in the legislature. So that's a whole nother conversation. But we are going to prepare for a break since we're talking about preparation. We're going to take this break. And when we come back, Henry is going to have a conversation with us about preparing our kids. So when we aren't there, how can we strengthen, them so that they can make those hard decisions when we aren't there?
Right.
Because just like you said, it's hard to let go, but you have to because you're going to have little children running around connected to you for the rest of your life.
No, I like that, though.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You one of them parents. We'll be right back, y'all. It's a Good Life.
All right.
Are you looking for a roadmap to get out of the financial rat race? If so, go to myfinancialtrainingpro.com to register for NOLA Homes Project free income shifting strategy session. The world has more to offer you than just a job and a paycheck. Our experts will show you how to raise your credit scores, minimize your taxes and expenses, while investing in real estate to put more cash in your pocket each and every month. Seating is limited, so do not wait. Visit myfinancialtrainingpro.com. That's myfinancialtrainingpro.com. Isagenix is one of the fastest growing companies in the world because their products work. Their solutions and culture has redefined the health and wellness industry. Science backs their products and statistics back their success. But it's the people who make them successful. And I, Eileen Carter, have joined the Isagenix revolution. I've used the products and followed their system, and I swear by them. I'm on my journey of transformation and invite you to join me and try Isagenix today. Challenge yourself and change your life. Find information and testimonials at thegoodliferadioshow.isagenix.com. 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 Order yours today. Small businesses play an important role in society, and L&R Security is no different. L&R Security delivers safety and comfort to our neighborhoods, events, apartment communities, conventions, work sites, festivals, and your business. L&R Security can be reached at 504-943-3191 to ensure the safety of your employees, customers, family, friends, and you. L&R Security has made its mark in the security arena for over 37 years and will faithfully continue that tradition. Call today for your personalized consultation to ensure your security needs are met. L&R Security differentiates itself by creating partnerships with our clients and guards. We are now hiring armed and unarmed guard professionals, retired military, sheriffs, and PD to grow with us and impact our community. Be a part of the change with L&R Security. Call us now at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191.
In Louisiana, springtime means festivals, cookouts, and fun in the sun. It also signals the beginning of termite swarming season. Nationwide, Louisiana is #1 in termite infestations and damage. Termite pressures causes more destruction than storms, fire, and floods. No standard homeowner's policy offers termite protection. At Rodent Guard Pest Control, we protect your home, place of business, school, or house of worship with a state-approved contract and warranty. Call us at 504-952-7378 for termite protection and elimination. We inspect your structure and surrounding property, offer a protection plan, and provide continuous termite monitoring and pest elimination. Enjoy the second line, knowing your prized investment is termite-free. Call Rodent Guard, 504-952-7378. For WBOK listeners, we offer a special discount opportunity if you mention promo code 952PEST.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro Disposal, this is our day. For more than 25 years, Metro Disposal has been a vital resource for waste management in our community. With state-of-the-art equipment and technology, we are committed to providing a cleaner, safer, healthier environment. This is our community. This is Metro Disposal.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life right here on WBOK 1230 AM. We are opening minds, living differently in the world. with love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding for ourselves and hopefully everyone else. We do that right here weekdays at 11 a.m. We're also live every weekday on Facebook Live. You want to see what goes on in the studio? Make sure you follow us, The Good Life Radio Show, The Good Life Radio Show on Facebook. We hit our 17,000 mark. I'm going to aim for 20, so I need each and every one of you out there to help me share the show, because it's The Good Life. I honestly believe it is the most underutilized button. We can help each other grow our businesses. We can help reach the world if we just press that little share button. It costs us nothing. Share is The Good Life. We've been discussing preparation with regard to with the bombing, and kind of like changed my conversation a little bit, because I wanted to make sure that our children are prepared when we let them go out into the world, and make those decisions with or without us. I have Keith on the line. He wants to give us his 2 cents on that, and we are here with Henry Jolly, our relationship therapist. Keith, welcome to The Good Life. How are you?
Good, beautiful morning, sister, and to you and Brother Jolly. Sister, look, when I was in elementary school, we used to practice a thing called fire drill. Remember the fire drill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in the early years, they used to have, the white kids used to have something called preparing themselves for atomic bomb fallout.
Atomic
bomb,
yeah.
We used to show them how to get under the desk and all this kind of stuff. But we used to slowly walk out the classroom in 2 single for the girls and the guys. So we used to walk on the school ground with that alarm still going off. Believe it or not, I mean, guess what we had?
What?
For how long? We had a World War II air raid. You remember the air raid thing going?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what we had. But anyway, we were always prepared for the drill. Now, since we had charter schools, we have had all kinds of reports how some of our kids, all African schools, how our kids be bullied. Remember, we had a lot of those reports over the years. And how do we prepare our kids for bullying in schools, that kind of extremism that happened over in London last night, England last night?
Yes.
I don't know. So that's just like that brother who got murdered on that college campus day before yesterday. One of the extremist white racist groups just up and stabbed that guy and killed that brother.
I know.
And he was prepared to graduate the next day. So how do we really prepare for it?
How do we
Since I really don't have an answer for that, all we can tell our kids that, be alert, listen to the teachers, listen to what they tell them, and just be prepared. Whatever instruction they give them, keep it in their head and remember, and be prepared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you got some positive answer, a lot of our kids do have cell phones. So if they have an emergency, they know what numbers to dial, the mom or some relative.
Right.
So for these, what happened in England, these bombs, I don't think they're going to ever happen here in New Orleans or anywhere in the United States. But you have had Columbine. Some kids was not ready for that, didn't know, wasn't expecting that. And you had, like, our brothers and sisters in that church up there in, where the guy Dylan Roof. Our people, they had the slightest idea that that kid was going to come in there and shoot them like that,
Wow, right.
But that kid did have some kind of disturbance. And maybe some of our kids may have some, slight disturbance, because we did have some kids in class that had some, in other words, they had problems paying attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Always talking and doing some things that made them get the 5 rule of punishment, the 5 licks on the knuckles. And you had, but today now, like I say, since it's been charter schools, we have had some problems.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take your question, kind of wrap it up, and I'm going to ask Henry.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave it anyway. So I just want to hear what your answers to the things I say. Thank you, sister.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. I think that's a great question. It goes exactly to what our conversation is about. preparing our children out there. And, he brought us back to where we were going. How do we have our children feel empowered when they are in these situations? He said, back then they used to prepare with the fire drills, prepare under the desk when they had the bombings and things like we remember those things of being prepared for those type of large events. But being prepared for bullying, how do we prepare our children for that? Henry, you had that little boy who was 6 or 7 years old who killed himself, after being bullied at school. You have, it ranges from all different adults, and you can think that you have poured love and attention into your child, but we don't, how do we know that? Is it learning your child and knowing what their triggers are so that you can support that? Like, how do you? Because something's going to happen at some point in time, and we want them to be prepared.
I mean, some of that stuff seems like it's unavoidable unless you just
live
in a bubble.
Right.
I mean, but it's scary though, because I live my life the same way. Like I don't go to clubs. I don't really go to hangout spots and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go to dinner, movies. I mean, something could pop off there too, but I'm really afraid of what somebody else would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like I have a target on my back, but I could be an innocent bystander. Like, I have a friend who was shot, and he's paralyzed from the neck down right now because he was around a fist fight that turned into a gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how do you prepare for that? You really can't. Other than don't go anywhere.
Right.
But who is that living?
That's
not living. So, I mean, I don't have the answer to that one, Eileen. I don't know.
Well, what about the bullying for our children? And I don't necessarily, I'm going to be honest, I don't believe that there's one right answer. I do believe that every child is different. But how do we, and I guess maybe age appropriate, maybe this is a conversation that we can continue, on another show, because we have maybe 10, I don't even know if we have 10, we have 8 minutes left. But with regard to, empowering them to have a voice, because it's funny because I talk about this. Well, I guess I haven't talked about it in a while. Maybe I'm supposed to. The difference between, raising our children in fear and raising our children in respect. I do believe there's two different things.
Yeah, two different things for sure.
And I think when we raise our children with fear, they don't have their voice.
Right.
When you raise them with respect, I feel like they do. Now, I'm not judging anybody's household, but it is more difficult for them to find their voice if you've raised them in fear.
Yeah, it takes them longer. Like, they're gonna eventually have their own voice, but at what age? And
how is it going to come out?
How is it going to come out? Is it, they were in an abusive relationship because they're so, beat up from their parents, and now they get with some dude and just let a dude wail on them.
Mm-hmm.
But their confidence is so low, they don't know how to have a voice because they never had one growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you gotta, there's a balance, you have to. I like what you're doing with your kid. I mean, I really do. I'm going to have to take a page out of your book as my kids get older. But as far as preparing your kids for bullying, you got to teach them that they are important, that they are strong, that they matter, that they are loved.
You're giving me chills.
That another person, people are allowed to have their own opinions. If somebody's bullying you, calling you names, they're allowed to have their opinion of you.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feel about yourself?
Yes.
That's really what matters more than anything.
Yes. It's funny. Somebody asked me that yesterday. They're like, how do you feel or how do you react when somebody talks crazy to you? And I said, I just look at the person like they're crazy. I was like, because I know who I am and I'm good. I'm looking at them like, what is their issue?
Yeah.
I'm going to remove myself out of the situation because I don't have the issue. I'm good. I'm like, you see this over here? We good over here. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm also 30-something years old. How do
Took a while to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it has built over time. And, of course, you don't expect your child to be perfect. But if they are in a situation where they're being bullied or they're, their friend is like, let's go in this store and take something. Or they are, let's go, hanging out with these dudes, after school we're going to go drink around the corner. Or whatever it may be. Or let's skip school. Whatever it may be that they're feeling empowered to say no, I don't have to, and they feel like they can say no and not have repercussions.
How many of my friends smoke, and I don't mean cigarettes. I don't. All right, but they my friends, and they don't try to force that on me. I mean, they might have offered it to me a couple of times, and I kept saying no. They're like, all right, well, but I'm cool with who I am. I'm secure within myself. and I don't feel like less of a person, or I'm cool, or I'm not cool, or I'm a lame because I don't smoke, or I don't really like to drink and stuff like that. I mean, you know, you got to just be. You have to love yourself, and what another person thinks about you really shouldn't matter to you. You have to worry about what you think about you.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah.
And it's instilling that into our children.
Basically, helping them get a high self-esteem. That's what your job should be in order to avoid the whole bullying process.
And kind of everything. Wouldn't it boil down to that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, when the bullying becomes physical, now you got to put your kids in Taekwondo class
right.
and MMA training and stuff like that, because you got to be able to protect yourself. But once again, that's just a form of having confidence, having your high self-esteem. Right. If you know you can whip the crap out of somebody if they put their hands on you, they can say whatever they want to say. If they touch you, it's on.
Right, and we have Bashan's Jordan of Tiger Rock NOLA here on Wellness Wednesday tomorrow for that. But that's true. Yeah. And then having the confidence to not have to strike back because I know I'm good.
Right.
I know I'm good. Right. We have the lines lit up. We have Coleman on line 1. Coleman, good morning and welcome to The Good Life. You're here with Henry Jolly and myself, Eileen Carter.
Good morning, Irene and Henry.
Morning.
Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Hey,
how are you?
I like to claim as well my Leah Foundation. 2 wives, 7 children, 12 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. The question is, you surround yourself, your kids, with the best people that you can surround them with.
Yes.
Know who your children friends are and their parents.
Yes.
Know who their parents are. Try to know where your children are all the time. And you made an excellent point. You don't necessarily have to strike back when somebody push you, but you need to know when your child is challenged, because sometimes biblically turning the other cheek will keep your child from getting suspended in school.
Right.
Because I struck back. And I didn't start it, but I ended it. But I was out for 3 days.
You don't want to get caught
in middle school.
Right.
So using that as experience. But see, we learned how, I don't know what y'all call it today, is real. You know, knowing how to be able to talk about each other, mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, and all that stuff. Because the kids get they're so what you call it, thin skin.
Mm-hmm.
To they really don't know how to real.
Right.
And that's something you have to teach them how to do it, and don't let somebody see your anger.
Right.
Because once they get on you,
then they
and
feed
see
off
that weakness, they play on that weakness. So like I say, it's a little art to it. But if you teach them how to reel, it'll help them out. In situations, and because it's just about not losing control of a situation. And one thing I want to say to Henry is that you don't step forward towards a person in confrontation. Take a step back and let them know it ain't all that serious. Because, when you step to me, they're going to be on and cracking. But you step back and say, bro, I'm just bullshitting with you. Or you right. Even if he, like I said, just give him some of his space, and then he going to be cool with that, then you go on.
Right.
But if in general, we as black folks have taught our children to be too combative. They do not respect each other with the love that they need to respect each other. And
Coleman, wait.
Don't let friends get in trouble.
Exactly. And Coleman, I have to ask you this because we literally only have like a minute left. You say that our children are too combative with each other, but I'm going to throw a question out there, and I really don't expect an answer. I just want to kind of leave it for everybody to think. Where did they see it? Where did they learn it? They don't come out the womb saying, I'm about to fight everybody. They see it. It surrounds them, just like you said, who we surround ourselves with. And unfortunately, sometimes it's the adults in their family who are combative and argumentative and fighting every day. We have to look at ourselves if we want something different, and we need to start breaking these cycles.
You're 100% on that. It's the environment. And this is why I said what I said to Henry, because we as elders have to teach that. We don't always have to get into a combative situation, because that's what's wrong with us now.
Right.
The pipeline to prison it's because we do not respect, we don't know how to defuse the situation.
And that's exactly
because
what we need
if
to
I
do.
offend you, just make a little joke out of it and say, bro, hey, I didn't mean it like that.
I gotta go.
You know.
I'm past my time. Thank you so much for your call,
You're
Coleman.
welcome.
You know
Thank
you are
you.
always welcome on this show. I absolutely love your mind. Thank you so much for calling in. I
love you back.
Love you back. I want to thank Henry Jolly for being with us today. He is our relationship counselor. And Henry, I know you had something you wanted to offer everybody.
Yeah, free counseling for the first session, okay? So I'm the real deal. So call me at 504-259-8671. Thank you.
Give that number one more time.
504-259-8671. Free counseling for the first session. Hit me up.
All right, y'all. It's a good life. It's Eileen Carter. Just, start thinking about what we are pouring into our children. Let's pour love, and let's have relationships of respect instead of fear. It's the good life, and I'm out.